When betrayal comes from another woman, sometimes the deepest wounds just don't come from fists or threats. Sometimes it comes out of the mouths of people we thought we could trust, who would understand us, especially if it's another woman saying those things. This week, we read an email from a survivor whose friend delivered a gut punch that no one should ever have to hear.
Survivor to survivor, break the silence. In the depths of silence, a voice emerges. A voice that says, "You are not alone." Welcome to Survivor, where strength rises through shared stories, where pain transforms into resilience, where survivors connect and empower each other. Your story matters. Your voice matters. You matter. Join the movement. Subscribe now. Welcome to Survivor to Survivor.
Well, welcome back to another edition of Survivor to Survivor. We definitely got an interesting email in. Let me read this. Dear Survivor to Survivor, we'll say, graped because of social media censoring by my ex-boyfriend. It was violent and it changed how I saw myself forever. He was popular, handsome, charismatic, the kind of guy who got away with anything. When I finally told a few people about what happened, I expected silence and maybe some disbelief. But I wasn't ready for what my female friend said to me. She said, "Girl, I wish someone like him would give me that kind of attention. You should feel lucky." Sorry. She laughed. I haven't spoken with her since, but I can't stop replaying it. Am I overreacting? Is there something wrong with me for still being so upset? Signed, T. Dear T, you can tell by my reaction to even reading that. Girl, you are definitely not overreacting. What she said wasn't just a joke to be laughed at. It was cruelty wrapped up in eternalized misogyny and ignorance. So let's be clear. That kind of an assault is not a compliment. It's not attention. It is not something anyone is lucky to experience. What your friend did was definitely minimalize your trauma and sexualized your pain because she wouldn't, or maybe even she just couldn't face the reality of what happened. Sometimes people say horrific things to survivors because acknowledging the truth is just too uncomfortable. It's just too uncomfortable for them to even fathom. Uh, they'd rather believe that the assault is rare and it only happens to people who are like weak or dressed wrong or somehow deserved it. That's how they make sense of it all, right? If they keep believing that, they get to feel safe. But you were left holding the shards of their denial. T, your pain is definitely valid. That comment was violent in its own way. And walking away from that friendship, it wasn't overreacting. That's just protecting your peace. You deserve support and not shame, truth and not toxic femininity, and healing, and definitely not humiliation for what you endured. Don't carry her words any longer. They're not yours to carry. So just know that. Uh, and thank you for writing in. So when someone shows you who they are, believe it. If you've ever had pain, and your pain was dismissed or mocked, let this episode be a reminder. Your truth matters, your healing matters, and you matter. If you have a question, a confession, or a moment you need to release, please send it in this to an email, podcast@breakthesilencedv.org. We'll protect your identity and honor your voice from one survivor to survivor every Friday. And if you want to support survivors like T, you can do that while you're shopping. Go to walmart.com/sparkgood and select Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence as your charity. Every time you check out, round up your total and you help fund programs like here that we have here at Break the Silence, and help survivors find their voice and rebuild their lives. It's change that brings change. So thank you, and